4 hours? Welcome to D's Rants and Reviews. I'm your host, D. On today's episode, I'll be reviewing Zack Snyder's Justice League.
If there's an attack coming.
My lord, this world will fall.
I need warriors. I'm building an alliance to defend ourselves.
How do you know your team's strong enough? If you can't bring down the charging bull, then don't wave the red cape at it.
Before we get into the movie, let's first get into my history with the Justice League. Growing up, I was one that read comics, being that I inherited from my brother, who was a big-time comic book collector. Matter of fact, I believe that comic books was the way I actually learned how to read. And anybody who knows anything about comic books knows that there are two main competing companies, DC and Marvel. I'm a DC guy. Growing up, I was a big fan of Superman, Batman, Flash, and many of the other characters from DC. And being that I grew up with these characters, I'm very familiar with the source material. So much so that whenever I see anything pertaining to these characters, the first thing I judge is how far away or how close do they get to the source material. As a result of my knowledge of these characters, I'm a huge fan of Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy. In my opinion, it captured the very essence of Batman, and on an even greater note, it really captured the real essence of the Joker, played by the late Heath Ledger.
I'm gonna make this pencil disappear. It's gone.
I'm also a huge fan of the Christopher Reeve starring Superman movies, even though 3 and 4 weren't that good.
General, would you care to step outside?
So when they established the DC Extended Universe, I was excited at first once I saw the trailer for Man of Steel. The movie, on the other hand, was very underwhelming. I pretty much liked everything up until I saw him in the costume.
You've grown stronger here than I ever could have imagined.
As the movie started, I was really getting into it. I really loved what they did with General Zod's character, especially.
Jor-El was right. You're a pack of fools, every last one of you. And you believe your son is safe? I will find him. I will reclaim what you have taken from us.
And mind you, I gave Man of Steel many tries. As underwhelming as it was as a movie, I still wanted to keep watching it to see maybe there's something that I'm missing. Maybe I'm just trying to hold on to the past too much, but I just couldn't quite buy him as Superman. So I wasn't a big fan of Man of Steel, but I didn't hate it.
Well, in that case.
Next in line was Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice. Here's a movie I hated immensely.
You're letting him kill Martha. What does that mean? Why did you say that name? Find him! Save Martha!
As much as I couldn't buy Henry Cavill as Superman, I really can't buy Ben Affleck as Batman.
Yeah. Oh, something is definitely bleeding.
I actually think he's a really good actor. I think he's an even better director, but it's just something about the costume that I can never separate Ben Affleck from Batman.
Well, I knew you didn't bring me back because you like me.
I don't. Not.
And I really hated Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor.
Look at us. This is how it all caves in. Civilization on the wane, manners.
So from Man of Steel to Batman vs. Superman, I wasn't that big of a fan of what they were doing with the DC Extended Universe. But my love for these characters still made me go and at least give it a try to see if somehow they will pull it together. Now, from my initial experience with Man of Steel and Batman vs. Superman, as I was approaching the first theatrical release of Justice League, I was going in there not with high expectations. But after seeing the theatrical release of Justice League, I was actually surprised that I liked it so much. My biggest surprise was that I really loved Henry Cavill in the movie, who I thought actually started to get Superman.
You're all too weak to see the truth.
Well, I believe in truth. But I'm also a big fan of justice.
And I realized that my problem with Henry Cavill from Man of Steel and Batman vs. Superman was the fact that he seemed to think that it was a curse that he was Superman. But it seemed like in the theatrical release of Justice League, he finally got the fact that, hey, I'm Superman.
Slowpoke.
So overall, I really enjoyed Justice League, the theatrical version. Not to mention, it segued into the other movies, which I actually liked somewhat. Wonder Woman was okay. Aquaman, I thought, was excellent. And Shazam, in my opinion, was really excellent. So it started to seem as if with the DC Extended Universe, things were starting to go on the uprise. And then I heard about Zack Snyder's director's cut of Justice League. Now, I was somewhat apprehensive going in because I was wondering, okay, this is actually a movie I like. Now you're going to tweak it to probably do some things that I didn't like. Because truth be told, when I look at Zack Snyder's movies and his versions of these characters, it brings a bad taste in my mouth because he makes it so dark. But of course, being that this is DC, I was going to give it a chance anyway, even though, as I saw, it was going to be a 4-hour movie. So on the day that it was released, I sat down and watched the entire 4-hour movie. And after watching it, my reaction was, yeah.
Now I've heard there was a secret chord that David played, and it pleased the Lord. But you don't really care for music.
Let's talk about first what I did like. I loved what they did with the villains. I loved particularly with Steppenwolf because they really enhanced his character when you found out why he was so motivated to do what he did.
I have seen it. I have looked with my own eyes.
And of course, seeing Darkseid on the big screen for the first time was a big treat. Another big highlight for me was seeing the Martian Manhunter.
Can I help you?
I'm sure you know Darkseid is not finished with Earth. The anti-life equation is here somewhere. And we have to find it before he does.
And seeing who they used to play Martian Manhunter, tying into the Man of Steel movie, I thought that was excellent because it shows you that they were thinking ahead of time and really, truly trying to develop a good storyline. Some of the things I didn't like. One, it's a 4-hour movie, so you expect certain scenes to be longer. And some of the scenes that they made longer really didn't need to be longer. I really could have did without the women singing once Aquaman swam away.
Dressed like a bat. You're out of your mind, Bruce Wayne.
And I actually asked myself, what was the purpose of this scene? to show how big of a pimp Aquaman was?
All right.
And why does the Flash run so damn funny? And why so much slow motion? I think the slow motion scenes actually extended the movie by a good 45 minutes. Those are the things I liked and didn't like, but here are the things that I absolutely hated.
What are your superpowers again?
I'm rich.
I still can't buy Ben Affleck as Batman. No matter how many scenes I see him in, no matter how much you have him in the suit, I still see Ben Affleck instead of Batman.
Clark.
And also, being somebody that's real familiar with the source material and someone who understands Batman's character, there's no way he would be the one who tries to assemble the Justice League.
All the hopes and dreams of Krypton live in you now.
I'm so proud of you, son.
I understand that we live in a modern society where people respond to characters that are pretty much presented as badasses. But this is Superman. Superman is not supposed to wear a black suit, not by choice. You harken back to the death and return of Superman once he returned in the suit that he was buried in. So, for a second, he wore that black suit while his powers were returning to him. But once his powers fully came back to him, he was back in the good old yellow, blue, and red. That's Superman. It's Superman. The other thing is you made it in 4.3. A movie is supposed to be in widescreen, point blank, period. And of course, my biggest rant is the fact that the movie was 4 hours long. Seriously, 4 hours long. Literally, after the movie was finished, I felt like I had been working out for 4 hours. Granted, as much as I enjoyed the theatrical release of Justice League, it's not that great of a movie. So you're really asking a lot for a movie that some people thought was mediocre in the first place. Now, of course, I understand that many may not agree with my assessment of this movie, and for that, there's the comment section. And make sure to subscribe. Until next time.